Hey guys, welcome to YS Kong Driving, and today we are starting on a different adventure. Actually, it's two adventures together with Perodua. So the first adventure is Perodua is introducing the Ativa Hybrid. So this is the first adventure. And the second adventure is this hybrid cannot be sold, not at this moment, because it's part of an experiment by Perodua for 300 customers and is based on subscription. So there are 300 lucky people who have been already selected, and today they gave away the keys to 5 of the selected people. Okay, so this hybrid system is also very different from the normal hybrid car as we know it. In a normal hybrid car, you have an engine that basically drives the car, and then you have an electric motor and a backup battery that is charged by the engine through brake regeneration to give it additional power. Now in this case, for the Ativa Hybrid, the engine has nothing to do with driving the car, not directly that is. All it does is it charges a battery, a lithium-ion battery, and the battery powers a motor and the motor drives the car. So even though you have a 82 PS engine from this 1.2 liter 3-cylinder Atkinson cycle engine and 105 Newton meters of torque, the actual power that this car gets is from the electric motor, because they have found that when you have a true electric drive, that's when you can get the stupendous acceleration, and that's because all the drive comes from this electric motor that's directly hooked to the front wheels, and all of that is powered by the battery. So again, guys, there is a single gearbox, or rather one single reduction for the motor, and it drives the wheels directly, so there is no gearbox, so there's no CVT, only one gear. So, and because of that, we've not been told what is the top speed of the car, but I think it won't be very, very high. Okay, and so according to the news release by Perodua, this car is mainly meant for city use. So we will be interviewing the owners later on to see how it actually goes. But let's take a further look at the car. In terms of dimensions, this car is the same as the Perodua Ativa, and if you look at the front very carefully, you'll find that there is a Perodua badge, but there are only 300 that are coming into the country, and those who in the know will know that this is actually the Daihatsu Rocky, identical, yeah? So this car comes as a CBU from Japan, and you cannot buy it. Only 300 people will get to lease it for 5 years as part of another adventure by Perodua to gauge the usage of hybrid and to also check whether the hybrid is suitable for our climate and our people. So these 300 people are subject to monthly reports or 3 monthly reports. They are monitored, okay, by Perodua as to what to do. So your life is not your own. But anyway, for 500 ringgit a month, it looks like it's a very worthwhile adventure for those 300 people. Okay, so let's take a look along the sides of the car. So as for wheels, it's very much the same. So these are 17-inch wheels, and the tire size is 195/60 R17. Ventilated disc in the front, and what looks like McPherson struts with A-arms, very much the same as what the normal Ativa is. And of course, this is a crossover with the black cladding that goes around to the back, and you have also the same size tires, drum brakes at the back, and what looks like a head-shaped torsion beam. Okay. So you can see here they've blacked it out here, so it looks good. And by the way, there's only one color, pearl white. Only 300 units, one single color. Take it or leave it. And at the back, of course, they also changed the Perodua badging. And this is the boot. And so I am Michael's helper. Now we have the light. And YS said, let there be light, and there was light. Okay, so this is the boot area. I don't think there's very much to see here, except that we know that the rear seats split 60-40, and there are 3 headrests there. But down here, there is no spare tire. Okay, so there's a tire repair kit here. That's the tire repair kit. And up here you have a courtesy light. Down here you have tie down hooks for you to tie down your luggage, which is a very good idea. And nothing much here. This is just textured plastic. And this one is the rear hidden compartment. Okay, here as you can see, there is no spare tire, and there's a battery here, but this does not seem to be the lithium ion battery. This looks like a backup battery to run the peripherals of the car. Yep, so and other than that, you have some compartments here to keep your gold bars and whatever you want to carry. Okay, so that's the hidden compartment. And let's move over to the engine compartment now. Okay, here's a quick look at the engine compartment. Okay, over here you see this 3-cylinder 1.2 liter engine that does nothing but charge the battery. This is the electrical control unit that controls the electricity and the motor, and the motor is sitting down there. So as you can see, they have actually pretty much utilized all the space in here. But remember guys, this is actually an electric car that is charging its battery using the engine. So the engine does not drive the car, right? Okay, so much for the front of the car. Let's move to the inside. Okay, so here's what the inside of the car looks like. Well, it's pretty much like the Ativa that I know, even though it's been about a year since I last drove the Ativa, but it's kind of familiar. There is the dashboard itself is hard plastic, and then you have this little screen here. I don't know how many inches. Maybe it's like 8 inch, yeah? Yeah, it's about 8 or maybe 9 inch. And so in terms of the steering, let's check how, okay. Adjustment is only up and down and not very much, maybe about 2 inches of movement. There's no in and out adjustment. So, well, this is a little A segment car, yeah? Okay, in terms of the meter, it's very much the same as the Ativa that you know. The red light flashing you see is actually the front bonnet is open because one of the media wanted me to open it. And that's a good thing because that is the warning that your bonnet is open, so you have less chances of it flying open if you accidentally kept it open lah. And then you have, of course, the gear position is here, your ref. There is no ref counter. Only the speedometer. Yeah. So okay, so you have charge, eco and power. That indicates whether your car is charging or you're driving economically or you are on power. Yeah, the power is to tell you, the more you power, the faster your battery depletes. Yeah. But not to worry because you have an engine there waiting just to charge up the battery. So you don't have what you call range anxiety. You don't have to go and charge up your car because you have an engine doing that all the time. Yeah, so that's the beauty of hybrid. And the evolution of hybrid is such now that you don't even drive the car with the engine. It's like a big genset. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I see here we have lane centering. We also have cruise control. Looks like it is adaptive cruise control. So we are not very sure because there was nothing mentioned, but I think it's here. So it has some of the features. Okay. Looking at the instrument panel, you have settings. Okay, we'll not look at the settings. Look at next. This is the range. And this is lane keep and cruise control. Yeah, this is the drive schematics. Yep, and this is the door warning. Yeah, I think it has some of the, it looks like adaptive cruise controller, so it may have the ADAS features, but they never talked about it. It might be different since this is a CBU, so we will just leave it as it is. If we ever get a chance to drive the car, we'll tell you for sure. Okay, over here we see a USB port and what? Seat ventilators. Oh my, I think they are heaters. Okay, don't forget this car is CBU from Japan, yeah? Then down here you have your electronic parking brake and your brake hole. Okay, you have two drink holders here, and this is the key. Power. Ooh, I started the car. But starting the car is very easy. The engine hasn't started, so it's like an electric car. The battery is on, and yeah, the aircon is on. Yeah, that's so confirmed there's an electrical compressor, or at least there's a blower here. And there you go. The aircon also has a auto. Auto function means you can set the temperature and then it can run. So because the aircon is not running very hard, it is now blowing it very hard. But you, of course, you can tone down the aircon speed here, and temperature is low, so you can actually set the temperature. So this is actually a climate control. Very good for such a small car to have it. And a very normal gear stick which says P, R, N, and D. So in terms of driving, you don't even have to worry that is the battery driving the car or the engine driving the car. You just drive it like normal. You put into your drive and you go. And there's an additional B button, and that is to increase the regeneration. So, okay, in terms of the seats, they are a kind of like a mixture of material, half leather and half fabric, and it's a very nice and compact size. Yeah, this is exactly the same as the Ativa in terms of size, but let's just look at the back of the car now. Okay, so I'm sitting in the rear seat, and yes, it's the same as the Ativa. There is enough room, and there are the holes down there underneath the seat for you to put your shoes, and two USB ports here. Seat material is the same. You can sit 3 or 2 people, but I would say 2 people lah. And there is no center armrest. Oh yes, down here there is a little ventilator. There are 2, but I cannot find where is the other one, but we have been told in the briefing, do not block this. So if you're driving this car, do not block this hole, because this is where it sucks in air from your air conditioning to cool down your lithium ion batteries. So lithium ion batteries run hot, and so in the battery system there must be something to cool it down, and here is the air vent for the cooling system. Then it vents out somewhere else. That's it guys for the rear. And alright guys, so that wraps up our little presentation on the Ativa Hybrid. We are very happy to be here with Perodua on the adventure with the hybrid and with the subscription system, and we wish them all the best in this new venture. And so guys, till we meet again in our next video. Bye bye. So we have here with us Encik Rahman from Bangi, who also happens to be a fan, and he met me here and we shook hands and took photo. But he is one of the lucky 5 who got the subscription approved, and he's going to get the keys, the real keys to his car, in about 1 to 2 weeks time. And so I'd like to ask you, Encik Rahman, how do you feel about this new experience you're going to get?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Firstly, this will be my first hybrid. I never drive hybrid before. I never rented a hybrid before. So it will be a new experience for me. And I've never leased a car before. So yeah. Leasing is also
2 first.
Yeah, 2 first.
And yeah. Do you have any worries about, I'm going to pay 500 a month, no? Will I lose money in the end or will I gain in the end? So do you have any kind of feelings like that?
Not really. First, I think the 500 ringgit per month is very cheap for a hybrid.
Yes.
And I think and for a new car, new technology,
it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it because it's risky to buy a new technology. So I think leasing will be a good good
and
option.
you don't have to pay for tires, no road tax, no insurance. 500 clean.
Yeah, all in.
All right, man. Okay. So anyway, we wish you best of luck in your new adventure, and we'll be coming to see you in a few months to check what is the update. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, and nice meeting you.
Yeah, me too.
My fan. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, you're welcome.